Right, guys, welcome to tonight's webinar. You're here today because you want to learn how I generated 53 leads for free. That's 553 leads within just 12 hours. In fact, for that day, I think I generated almost 80 leads in a 24-hour period of time. So what I'm actually going to do is, talk you through some of the different, and it wasn't until I understood, a couple of key principles that you can very easily master and really use to grow any business, absolutely any business. So what I'm going to do is actually just jump in and show you my slides. So just bear with me, I'm just going to share my screen. I've got some slides prepared for you. And by the way, this is for anyone who's a business owner, a network marketer, a coach. It doesn't really matter what business you're in. If you're in any kind of business where you're generating inquiries and leads, then this is perfect. This is absolutely ideal for you as a business owner. Okay, so whatever business you're promoting. So I'm just going to jump straight in, show you my slides, and just show you exactly what I've done. So let me just share my screen and get these slides up for you. Okie doke. Okay, awesome. So looks like the slides are loading perfectly. Just get it full screen for you guys so you can see it all. Okay, awesome stuff. So here's what I'm here to do. I'm here to present to you how I generated 53 real leads in less than 12 hours, just one Facebook post with zero paid marketing. I've done paid marketing campaigns before that haven't generated that many leads. So to actually do it with no budget, without having to go and, this wasn't a Facebook post that I asked Facebook to, paid Facebook, I sponsored it. This was actually just, I posted on my wall. It took like 40 seconds to actually write this, and the response was phenomenal. And if you stick around to the end, we'll actually share something with you. I've put together something for anyone who wants to be a little bit more advanced with some of these strategies. So I'm not going to spill the beans just yet, but I don't want to surprise attack anyone and boom, all of a sudden, here's this thing you didn't expect. So stick around to the end. I really think that you'll find it very interesting. So I'm going to share with you exactly what I did. Okay, so here's just a quick run through of what you're going to learn. So you're going to learn how to blow up a social media account by doing a few simple posts, and these are posts that anyone can do. If you're brand new to social media, then this is absolutely perfect. You're going to learn how to re-engage a dead audience. I'm going to share with you some tips to build a better one. So right now, if you're building a business and the audience you have are a little bit, maybe they're not very responsive, well, I'm going to share with you how you can kind of revive an audience that you thought was dead, and then really share some tips on how to build a better audience for the next time around. I'm also going to share with you what to say and what not to say when you want to get leads online. I'm going to talk about how to position yourself as a leader so people actually want to work with you. Okay, it's important if you want to stand out. I'm also going to talk about why the benefits and features model is broken, and I'm going to share with you what the fix is and what you should do instead. And there's going to be much, much more that I'm going to cover in this webinar. So if you don't have a pen and paper handy, I highly recommend you go and get one. I recommend listening to this webinar in a quiet environment where there won't be interruptions. I typically do my webinars very fast paced. This will be a maybe 45-minute webinar max. I don't like to go over an hour unless I'm showing something very specific. So I'm going to just gun through this. There'll hopefully be a recording, or there'll be an encore that I'll do at a different day and time. So if I go too quickly and you're not able to take notes, then keep your eyes peeled. There'll be either a replay, or I'll do an encore at a different day, a different time, so you can catch all the essential information here. Okay, so I think most of you kind of know me, so I am going to talk about who I am. I think I've got a few people on this webinar who maybe don't know me that well. So I'm going to very quickly tell my story and then just jump straight into the training. I'm a no-nonsense guy, so I like to just get to the point. But I want you guys to kind of know a little bit about me before I do that. So I'm 23 years old. Very soon be 24. I live in Ipswich, United Kingdom. Lived here all my life, and I like living in Ipswich, but I also like traveling. Some of you guys who have been to Vegas might know where that is. So you might recognize that if you've been before. You've got Caesar's Palace in the background. So I was actually there in May with my girlfriend for a week, and that was really, really cool. But I wasn't always traveling to Vegas and smiling and doing cool things. I went from, eating beans and toast for dinner, pretty embarrassing, and I struggled with online marketing for over 4 years, really, until I found a mentor, found someone who was having success, and I was able to model them and understand what they were doing to, get results. I managed to generate 371 leads and 6 signups in a single day. And, started a new business, and I recruited 21 people in 24 days without any rejection, any pushback. And so, as I said, I've traveled to the US 3 times now in the last 5 months, actually. And I've really lived the laptop lifestyle. Sometimes I didn't even bring my laptop. So I was living the smartphone lifestyle, I guess. So I was able to really build my business in a flexible way, so I could go and enjoy the things that I wanted to do, but also be able to build my business and work flexibly. So if that's something you're looking to do as well, build your business in that way where you can generate inquiries. You can go to sleep and literally wake up and you've got leads in your inbox. You've got people commenting on your stuff, wanting more information. Then this is the perfect webinar for you. So here it is, guys. This is the actual proof. This is the status post that I put out there on Facebook. Unfortunately, I only had the screenshot on my phone, so I couldn't actually blow it up. But as you can see here, 146 comments. Some of them were replies from me, but I worked it out is roughly about 80 people who commented and were wanting more information. So what I was actually doing in the status post was I was giving away free training on how to use Snapchat to build your business. So I wasn't out there pitching my business like most people. I was out there, providing value and generating leads that way, which I'll talk about in the webinar. So that's pretty much what I did. As you can see here, huge response. I got lots of likes as well as comments, which is cool. So I got mountains of free leads from just one status post that took me like less than a minute to write. It was really cool. Okay, so pretty much, as I said, just going to go straight into it. So what we're going to talk about is who is your target market. Okay, people really get this wrong from the get-go. I wanted to jump into this first because you have to know who you're targeting. Okay, you really have to. This really should be people who already buy something similar to what you're selling. Okay, and the reason for this is no convincing takes place. An analogy I guess I could offer to you is if you're trying to sell a house, then would you rather sell a house to someone who's never bought a house before, they're skeptical, they've got lots of questions, they don't have the budget together, they're not prepared to make a decision? Or would you rather talk to someone who's a serial property investor, someone who's very seasoned, someone who understands the process, someone who's ready to buy because they already buy similar things anyway? I would much rather talk to the seasoned purchaser than someone who's very skeptical, unsure of the process, and probably could end up wasting a lot of time. And you might find this, you might have found this as well in the past, where you've talked to people who just have no interest in being a business owner. And you might have been told to do that by your upline. Go and talk to people in Starbucks, go and talk to people out there in the general public. And you might bump into some cool people doing that, but most people walking around are not natural born entrepreneurs. It takes time to build that up. It really takes time to get someone to be a successful entrepreneur. So why not talk to people who are already on the path of success? Why not talk to those people rather than trying to get people who are spending all their time watching TV and doing whatever, trying to convince them to be like this millionaire entrepreneur? It's probably not going to happen as quickly as you might hope. So why not talk to people who already have the same vision and mindset as you? It just makes way more sense. So you need to do this as your homework. Who is your ideal customer? You want to write them down as, imagine them as a person, and imagine, think about all these different qualities this person has. Think about their, how old are they, whether they have family, what they do for work, what they do for hobbies outside of work, what they do for fun. What's their favorite thing to do? What are they, what's their income? What kind of neighborhood do they live in? You can get very specific here. What kind of, are they dating someone in a particular industry? Think about all these things, list them down, and get very specific. Because if you're targeting everyone, then really you're targeting no one. So you want to get very specific. And what you'll do is you'll start to attract your ideal customer. You want to stick to this as much as possible. When you have this list of qualities that your prospect should be, think about all these different qualities. Think about your ideal perfect customer if it's a real person. Okay, and this exercise won't take you very long to do. So just think about if this was a real person, what qualities would they have, and just get pen to paper and have it very clear in your head. Now the other thing is, what's your target market's pain, and how does your offer solve this pain? Now let me give you an example of what I do. So typically I talk to home business owners because I know that they're struggling with a couple of different things. It's very predictable. They're struggling to generate leads. They can't get enough sales. They can't duplicate. They don't have any mentoring. They can't upsell and get people to buy different packages. So it's very predictable that there are at least one or maybe even several of those problems and pains that they're experiencing. This is very different to when you're talking to someone and your message is, hey, do you want to make money? Do you want to lose weight? Do you want to be healthy? That's way too broad. Okay, that is way too broad, because saying to someone you can make money, that's just, that you could probably ask, 100 questions after that. Well, how much money can I make? What period of time could I make it in? People would have a lot of questions about that. If someone walked up to me and said, Seb, do you want to make money and be healthy? I'd be like, what the hell are you talking about? To be honest, I would have so many questions to respond back with, because that's such a vague thing to say to people and to offer. And people do this. They walk around saying, hey, be healthy, make money. I'm not saying that stuff doesn't work, but what I'm saying is the more specific you get, the better your results will be. Okay, so just have that in mind. So, kind of comes down to this, guys. So which rabbit do you chase? I hope you like the the cute picture of the of the rabbits there. So exactly what I was saying, be very specific. So I've already covered that. So your message needs to have something that your target market would beg, borrow, and steal for. So going back to the example of network marketers, that a lot of them are looking to get more leads, more results. You're here because you're looking to get more leads. So if you can cater a message to your target market that really helps to solve that pain, you're going to get their attention very, very quickly, a lot quicker than the other people who are trying to convince them to join another business, or are trying to market something that's not actually a solution. They're trying to promote like another business. That's not what people are looking for. They're looking for ways to build their existing business. So think about this. Who are your credible experts in your field that you can model? And think about how they write their messages, and who do they write them for? Some great people I can recommend are, Ray Higdon is a great guy that I follow personally. And if you go onto his blog, then you actually see how he writes his blog posts. You actually see that, he talks to existing business owners, and that's, his target market is very specific. So, definitely keep an eye out for that. So exactly what, as I was saying, offer value and not another business opportunity. Why would you offer someone a biz op if they're already struggling in theirs? They want the solution to the business they're in. They're probably not going to switch companies. They might do in the future, but right now they just want to build their existing business. So think about this, okay? Nobody who bought a drill wanted a drill. They wanted to make a hole. So what this means for you is that instead of providing information about drills, you should deliver about holes. So what does that mean exactly? So we're not talking about features and benefits. We're not saying, well, this drill is, it does this, it has this special setting that, if you press it, it will drill through You don't talk about those things. Okay, you paint the picture of the outcome. So you're selling the outcome. You're not selling the what creates the outcome. So you don't actually sell the business. You promote some results. So if you want to actually promote a business, why not promote results people have gotten from the business? You know, whether it's income, or whether it's if you're in a health and wellness, what about results that people have got from using the product? You know, you're leading with results. You're leading with something that is very tangible, and people can see and kind of track your progress and see what's happening with the business. There's a lot of hype and fluff going on like that right now in the industry. So if you can offer value and lead with this value, then you know you're going to stand out massively. Now, the next thing you want to do is give people useful tools and information if you want them to work with you. So if you're a business owner and you're talking to other business owners and you're using some tools that are making your life easier, one thing you can do is you can recommend these tools to others. And if you're an affiliate of these tools, which sometimes you can be, then you can make a commission from it. Okay, so you're able to actually create that as another income stream that doesn't conflict with any you know, businesses that you do. And when I say doesn't conflict, you're not going out there and, you know, promoting. Let's take Aweber for example. So Aweber is an autoresponder. An autoresponder, if you're not aware, it sends emails on your behalf, and it just kind of automates the process of email marketing. So I don't recommend going out there and saying, you know, Aweber is the best. It does, you know, does this, does that. But if I'm talking to someone and this person's struggling to keep track of their leads, maybe they're just like manually writing down their leads contact information. Well, they might want something that would make that process a bit easier, basically. So I'd recommend they use Aweber. Okay, I'm not like selling it, I'm recommending it. You understand the difference? I'm not saying, hey, you have to get on board with Aweber, it's the best tool, and if you don't do it, then I think you're stupid. You know, I don't think that would go very well. I don't think I have be friends with that person for very long. I'm just saying, you know, position it in a different way. If you're recommending things to people rather than selling, if you're just saying, hey, you know, I use XYZ, it's done XYZ for me, I'm really happy with it, so therefore I recommend it. There's a big difference between trying to, like, you know, pin someone down and trying to cram a business or whatever down their throat. People don't appreciate that. They don't like being sold, but they do actually like to buy. It's kind of a two-edged sword. You know, it's almost like a I forget what the contradiction. That's it. So you have to, you know, give value, and I recommend leading with some results. So if you can do like a walkthrough of some of these tools, like a video, just you logging in saying, hey, you know, I've just bought Aweber and this is what it looks like. This is what you get. Hopefully this helps you. I've made a lot of affiliate commissions just from doing exactly that. So that's a huge tip for you there. So offer value and share useful things that will work for you. Invest, learn, teach. That's the formula, guys. So here's a question. So now we're shifting over to the actual opting in process. And people will say, well, you know, why do I not get opt-ins for my business? Okay. So here's what you need to understand. Always ask yourself is, what are the core benefits someone will get if they join your list? You know, so I see this all the time on blogs. You know, I see people saying, you know, subscribe by email for more blog posts, for more tips, more information. And that's a very weak call to action. And what that doesn't do is it doesn't tell people what exactly you're offering. You know, again, you want to get very specific and offer something tangible, such as a lead magnet, which we'll get into in a second. But you want to get very specific. You know, what core benefits will someone get if they join your list? This is why a lead magnet is good, because you can give them something tangible that, you know, that they're happy to exchange for their content. You know, happy to become a lead for, exchange their contact information for. It's very hard nowadays to get opt-ins, or it's harder than it was in the past. People are more skeptical of giving away their email address than they ever were before, because so many marketers just hammer their list all the time with emails, you know, and I'm not saying you shouldn't email frequently, but if all you're doing is just offering products and you're not even building relationships with your lists, you're not nurturing your subscribers and your audience, then they're going to go find someone who will. So you want to very, get very, again, specific and change your call to action so that people are able to understand what benefits they get when they do actually opt in. Now, this is an important one. Make sure when someone does become a lead that they're being sent exactly what they're promised. There's nothing more annoying than opting in for something, you're requesting more information, and then when you get to the other page, it's something totally different, and you're not delivered what's promised. And even if you are generating leads, well, people will very quickly unsubscribe. They'll go and join other lists because people don't appreciate that. So make sure that everything you're doing is congruent every step of the way, and really just make sure you're delivering what you're promising. Now, here's what I was talking about, a lead magnet. Okay, so a lead magnet is a giveaway that you exchange for someone's contact information. Now, this can come in the form of really anything, but some examples are videos, PDF downloads, podcasts, or webinar. This is a good tip as well that I learned from experience, is webinars are really easy ways to get leads. Did you know I got a 50% opt-in rate from this webinar? Okay, as long as what you're promoting is high values, as long as the webinar is value-based. So my webinar, for example, is how I generated 53 leads for free without rejection or paid marketing. Now, that's value-based. I'm sharing with you how I did it, the concepts behind it. So it's no wonder that got a lot of opt-ins. Okay, and also people like to register for stuff. I've found that when I do webinars versus when I just do just like a normal website, a normal capture page, I always get more leads when I do webinars. People like live things, and they just like to be part of the live experience. So I recommend, if you're struggling to generate any leads, put together a capture page, and I'll talk about what I use for capture pages in a second, and promote a webinar. Okay, that's the fastest, easiest way to build a list. I don't know why exactly, but people just like webinars, value-based webinars. So your webinars or whatever lead magnet you do has to solve problems and pain in this industry. So as an example, one lead magnet you could do is 21 ways to close more sales rejection-free. Okay, what I like to do is offer some kind of benefit. So I've put 21 ways to close more sales, and then at the end I do a pain avoidance, okay, because I put rejection free, and I did the same in the title for this webinar, because people don't like rejection, and I also put about without doing paid marketing, because it's if people do generate a lot of leads, a lot of the time it's because they have a massive ads budget, which not many people do. So I wanted to make sure it was appealing to people who didn't have this massive ad budget, so that I like to basically make the title a bit meatier. So I wouldn't recommend just writing 21 ways to close more sales. I would add something like a pain avoidance at the end of it. Makes sense? So you want to make sure your title is very appealing as well in your lead magnet. It's going to be more important to actually lure people in and get them to opt in. Now, here's the next step. So you need to get a sales funnel and a list together to actually, first of all, drive website visitors to. So that's what you need the sales funnel for. And then you need to build your own list so that people who visit your website opt in and request more information. And rather than them disappearing forever, you can now follow up with these people. So if you're doing any online marketing, it is essential, so essential that you get a sales funnel and a list together. Now, your goal is to follow up with any potential watchers of your video or whatever it is in an efficient way. You don't want to pitch on the front end. You just want to follow up with them, nurture that relationship that you've just built. Over time, you can subtly promote what you do. It's absolutely fine to do that as long as you're leading with a mass amount of value on the front end. On the back end, it's all good to promote what you do, but again, be very subtle about it. I don't recommend putting promotion first. Always put value first, and explain to people, really show them why they should listen to you, and why they should work with you over someone else. That's the question that goes through their head. Now, here's some tips on how to keep your audience reaching for more. Do you like the picture of the man climbing? I thought it was cool. So you, again, give value to your existing audience, but you want to do this several times per day if possible. Okay. Now you always want to give a call to action for more value. Now you can mix this up. You can, give a call to action to your lead magnet. So you can do a Facebook post saying, hey, here's some tips on closing more sales. If you got some value from this video, then go over to my website where you can request my PDF on 21 ways to close more sales without rejection. Okay. But you can, if you're an affiliate, or if you're, promoting your business, you can occasionally just, throw in a link to what it is that you're doing, or maybe say, PS, if you want to work with me, inbox me for a $97 bonus, and then actually give people or offer a bonus to people who work with you, to, kind of give them a bit more, to get them more keen on working with you, to make yourself stand out more. Okay. It's a good idea to offer bonuses for, for when people actually buy from you or join your team. So this is really how to keep them reaching out for more. Now, here's what we talked about at the start of the webinar. If you lost your audience, or if you start to lose your audience, the best way to bounce back is to post non-business related content. So you can ask questions that a 5-year-old could answer. And a question that I have a bunch of questions I typically ask, but it's just, just normal questions such as, what's your favorite color? Or what's your favorite book? What movie what movie did you last watch? What are you going to do over Christmas or over Easter or whatever? Think about what's going on with current events. Can you piggyback off something that's really popular? You could say, I don't know, what do you think about the Kardashians? Now, I don't know anything about the Kardashians, but that would be a really good post to do, okay? Because that would get people engaging with your content, engaging with you and your brand. So if you're starting to lose your audience, you're probably doing too much business posting. You want to switch off and, post more neutral content that gets people engaging without it being promotional. So just, hold back on promotion for a couple of days, put out some, maybe put out some more value-based content, and then that's the safest bet there. If your engagement drops, then, post more casual related, content that's nothing to do with your business. So here's an example that I wanted to actually show you. Hopefully you can see that. I had to kind of blow it up, so it might be a bit blurred, but I'll just read it to you in case you can't see it. So here's what I'll say is, this is a post I typically do. So here's a post from earlier. So if you're starting a business, it's probably a good idea to start from stability, not survival. If you can barely fill your fridge, then I'm not sure if paying your next auto ship is the magic ticket out, especially if you have no proven strategies or a mentor. Zig Ziglar said it best. You have to go from survival to stability, stability to success, then success to significance. So I did a couple of things here. I talked about different phrases. So I talked about starting a business. That's going to attract entrepreneurs. I mentioned the word auto ship. So that's going to that's a term familiar with network marketers. I talked about strategies. What I also did was, as I said, especially if you have no proven strategies or a mentor. So I kind of played on the pain that a lot of people have in the industry, where they don't have proven strategies, they don't have a mentor. So what that does is people see that post and it kind of sticks in their mind. So if I keep putting out posts like this, eventually people do actually just reach out to me and want to ask what I'm working on. They want to actually, work with me a bit closer. But these kind of posts contribute to that happening. I mentioned Zig Ziglar, who's a speaker, personal development trainer. So it got quite a bit of engagement. It got 31 likes. You know, sometimes I get as much as 100 likes, but I wouldn't worry about the number. Okay, especially in the beginning, you want to be getting the right people, and don't focus too much on the numbers. You want you know, entrepreneurs, business owners, you know, people in your target market liking and interacting with your content. That's what's important, not the actual number. Now, here's a tip as well. I see most people evading this. They're not reachable, or they just don't like talking to people. They want to hide behind their computer, and you know, it's kind of crazy. But you have to build relationships. I know we've been sold that we can make millions from a laptop without talking to anyone ever. But you know, you have to do this, guys, especially if you're not at the full-time level. You have to get on the phone. So I recommend including your contact information, your website in a lot of your content. You know, be a leader and actually reach out to people on the phone. You know, whether that's you can call people on Facebook Messenger now. What I do if someone is not able to get on the phone, because I'm in the UK, so if I'm speaking to someone who's living in LA, they're 8 hours behind, it might be tricky to schedule a time. So in the meantime, I'll just send them a voice note over Facebook, because literally no one does that. So if I send a voice note, that makes me stand out and people can hear my voice. So I sound more real. It's not just text on a screen anymore. It's like a real person's talking to them. So you don't know how much the small things mean to people, especially when it comes to reaching out and being reachable. So every person who you can see interact with your content, they want to hear from you. So make sure to reach out to these people. So if you're noticing that one person is liking all of your content, then reach out to them, because they're obviously interested in what you're doing. They wouldn't be liking all of your content. So reach out to them and just see how they're doing. You don't reach out and pitch your business, but you just reach out and just see what they're up to, you know, and maybe you guys will be best friends, you know, because they obviously resonate with you. They obviously like your content. So why not reach out to them and carry on that relationship? They might be interested in working with you, but you're not going to know that if you don't reach out. So don't be afraid to reach out to people, especially if they're liking all and commenting on all your stuff and sharing it. You know, just get in touch with them. They probably want to hear from you really badly. So you can do this through many forms of communication. You can do email, you can do the phone. You can send people videos now through Facebook. So you can send them like a video message, voice messages. You know, you can mix this up. So, you know, don't just use one form of communication. If you follow up with someone, do multiple forms. Send pictures, send, you know, videos, do whatever. But you have to communicate in lots of different ways. Okay, some people prefer communication in other ways. Some people hate using Facebook. But if you gave them a call, they might be, you know, really receptive to hearing from you. They just might not like social media. So, you know, some people don't like voice messages, so they want to type. Some people are kind of anxious to speak on the phone, so they might just want to talk on Facebook. Or maybe they've got like kids in the background, so they want to talk on the phone, but it's too noisy. So you got to work with them. Figure out their favorite form of communication, and just see what they respond to best. So, you know, really test this with different people. You know, use all these different forms. You have them, and they're all free. Why not leverage them? You know, that's the way I see it. Now, you have to do this consistently. Okay, you have to do this consistently, and you have to set yourself apart. This is the key. So, you know, how can you broadcast your message in a way that others can't or won't do it? Now, sometimes the smallest things make the biggest difference. You know, remember things about what people actually like. You know, so if you're talking to someone and you know that they've got kids, you know, and you have kids as well, then you can actually ask about that. So you have to be very attentive and understand, listen to people. That's more important than really anything. People like it when you listen to them, especially when you can recall things about them. People do appreciate it, and it doesn't go unnoticed, guys. It really doesn't. Now, people will only buy if they like, know, and trust you, and they see some value. Okay, so this is the key. This is what a lot of people don't get right. Is, you know, they think, well, I'm just going to message tons and tons of people. Eventually, someone will take a look at what I'm doing. Well, that could happen, but your conversion rate is going to go way up if that person, they know you, they like you, they trust you, and they see value in what you're doing. You know, someone could know, like, and trust you, but they don't want to work with you right now, but they might want to down the line. So you want to preserve that relationship. It's very, very important you do that. Okay. All right, so what I've actually done as a bonus, because I've actually thrown together, I think some of you already have this PDF, but I have revised it. So for the revised Unstoppable Sponsoring PDF, go to seb.brantigan.net/7 steps guidebook. Okay, and here's some of the resources that I mentioned. So the autoresponder that I use is Aweber. I already mentioned that. If you want Aweber, they do a 30-day free trial. It's a really good piece of software. The support are really good, and the interface is great. It's really easy to use. So if you're new to email marketing, they're always making changes to make it very user friendly, even for new marketers. So to get that, just go to seb.brantigan.net/Aweber. Okay, so that's an autoresponder. That costs you like $19 a month. Now for sales funnels, there's two different platforms I use. So the first one is MLSP, stands for Miley System Pro. They have some really good pre-written funnels. And why that's good is the fact that if you're new to creating a funnel, you don't know anything about it, then it would be cool to use some funnels that already convert well. So that's why I like Miley System Pro. Now, this is not a webinar about Miley System Pro or Aweber, but these are just the things I use that I'm happy with. So I might as well tell you about them if it's going to help you out. So, you know, with Miley System Pro, they have pre-written funnels that convert really well. Some of them convert, you know, something like 30% on cold traffic. So that's pretty awesome for a funnel that I haven't had to do anything with. And what's cool is the leads you generate go to your list, so they don't go to Miley System Pro's list. You actually get to keep these leads. So if you want to see more information about that, go to intelligentmastery.com, or there's another tool I use called ClickFunnels. Okay, ClickFunnels is a bit more advanced. So I wouldn't recommend it for first-time funnel users, but it is actually a really good way to, if you want to do advanced stuff, create product, membership sites, you already know a little bit about creating funnels, then ClickFunnels is actually really good for that. You can do so much with it, but I don't recommend it for someone who's new. I think it's a bit too overwhelming. You've got to get a bit of experience with building funnels and learning the process. But it is actually very user friendly. They have like a 2-week trial as well, so it's worth looking at ClickFunnels. So to do that, you can go to seb.brantigan.net/ClickFunnels. Okay, so those are some of the resources that I mentioned earlier that I use. You know, I really recommend them. I've used them for I've used Aweber, Miley System Pro for years. ClickFunnels only a few months, but I'm very happy with ClickFunnels. I don't recommend going out and, you know, trying to get all of the tools. It's not essential. I just think a handful of tools are really what you need. Like I said earlier, you need an autoresponder to collect your leads, and you need a sales funnel to actually create those leads. So those are the two core things that you need in your business. So highly, highly recommend that you go out and get them. Okay, so what I've actually also done for you guys is I've put together a special offer, okay, for people just on this webinar. So what I'm actually going to do is it's a 30-minute coaching call, okay, but I'm also going to give in some other bonuses as well that I really think that will be very helpful. So this would be really good to extend from what you've learned on this webinar. So this is people who want to go, you know, a little bit further, a little bit more in depth. So what will actually happen in this coaching call is there'll be one-on-one time where we can unpick your business. We can look at improving your weak areas or leveraging your strengths. It's $127 value, guys. You'll also get a free gift, which is my 5-day social media bootcamp. It's a $97 value, okay? And I've had some great testimonials from that. Or also, if you like, if you have a team, a group of people in your network, I will also run a non-promotional training for your team of group if you want me to. And so what that means is I just got finished doing one of these for a network marketing company last Sunday. Okay, and so what I did is, if you guys are familiar with Zoom, it's like Skype, but you can do like multiple like video sharing. Okay, so I did a Zoom call for a bunch of people in network marketing company. I got some great feedback, and so what that would basically be is about an hour of me, just kind of sharing some information on a topic of your choice, and it's non-promotional. So I'm not going to jump into this training for you guys and just pitch my product, and that's not the goal. But the goal is just to give you guys some very specific training. There'll be time for Q&A. I don't see this as a bonus really offered, but I think mentoring is really, really important. Coaching is important. I learned more in having a coach in 3 months than I did in 4 years struggling to learn it on my own. So I really recommend coaching, mentoring, all those different kind of things. I'm always out there myself, finding coaches and mentors who can really point me in the right direction. And also on this coaching call, you can ask any question you like on really any business topic you like. It doesn't have to be about lead generation. It can be about closing. It can be about recruiting, duplication. So there will be time on this coaching call for question and answer. So I'll make sure that you'll have time to really ask me a couple of questions. And that's the power of having one-on-one calls like this, is the fact that rather than just watching a YouTube video and you're not able to ask questions, well, you can ask someone a question and they can provide an answer that is specific to your own situation. So you can get advice that you couldn't usually get from a YouTube webinar. So it's targeted advice. It's the best way I can describe it, and it can literally fast track you for years. It saved me years. I just think it's an awesome idea. Okay, so as you can see, that's a total of $421 in value. But I wanted to do this at a very special price. I didn't want to, I didn't want to charge through the roof. I wanted to make it very affordable for everyone. I wanted to make it a really good deal, and I wanted to make it pretty much irresistible. I'll be honest with you. So today, you get all of this. So you get the 5-day social media bootcamp. You get the coaching call. You get me, jumping on doing a training for you guys, and you get time to, training for you and your team, your group. If you want me to, I'm more than happy to do that. And you'll also be able to ask me some questions about, what it is you're working on, and how you can help to grow it. So it'll only be $27. Now, due to my schedule, because I already have some other calls as well, lined up, I can't obviously do too many calls. So I only have 15 spots left. Okay. And so really, to claim this offer before it expires, you want to go to Unstoppable. That's a sideways dash after that, sponsoring.com/30min, as in minute, coaching. So it's unstoppable-sponsoring.com/30min coaching. Okay, so what will happen, you'll go to that link, there'll be an order form, and you should see 30-minute coaching call, $27. What happens once you place that order is there will be a survey you need to fill in, a very short questionnaire, take you a couple of minutes. It will just ask you a couple of questions about, what's your situation now, where are you looking to go, and also for you to provide your contact information so we can get in touch and schedule this call in. Now, as I said, I wanted to do this for an absolute bargain, an absolute steal for you, because I understand the importance of having a coach, having someone to point you in that right direction. It's been so beneficial to me that I wanted to, do this special offer for you. And I think for $27, I mean, that's just a crazy price. But I don't think I'll keep that price for very long, because I anticipate there'll be a lot of demand for this. You know, I've spoken to a lot of people. I even did some surveys, and they were saying they just don't get enough mentoring and support from some of the, you know, leaders and business owners they work with. So you know, I highly recommend this. You know, $27, you get 30 minutes of my time. We can talk about whatever you want to talk about. And you know, my goal within that coaching call is not to get on the phone and immediately pitch you. Definitely not the case. You know, that's not the goal. You know, we're literally going to sit there. I've got a couple of questions I'll ask you, and I just really want to get to know you and what you're up to, because if I can, you know, pinpoint even one thing you're doing wrong, one thing that could save you years and years of you like spinning your wheels doing a strategy that's not working. Because I've tried so many different things. I mean, I've just tried tons and tons of different things. You know, different strategies, different ways to build my business. So, you know, if I spot you doing a strategy that's not effective, or I can say, hey, you know, I can just point it out to you and just save you a bunch of time. So again, $27. I've only got 15 spots left. So again, go to unstoppablesponsoring.com/30-minute coaching. If you're seeing this on my webinar page, there should be a button below. Okay, but if not, just go to this link and you'll be taken to the order form. It will take you literally 5 minutes to order. And again, once you're ordered, make sure to fill in that survey immediately so I can contact you ASAP and get those bonuses to you and really help you to grow your business, scale it for really to whatever goal you want to achieve. So that's pretty much it for today's webinar. I'm just going to jump back and show my face one more time before we off here. So it's really a blast actually doing this webinar for you guys, to be able to actually share with you some of my and concepts. I think a lot of people are just not willing to share these. So you know, I have this good feeling when I actually do share these things, because I know that I'm helping people. I'm literally just sharing with you what I've done, you know, step by step, all of the concepts that you can now take and apply to any business, any business, which is incredible. Even if you're not a network marketer, this stuff is still relevant and can still be super powerful. So again, once again, thank you so much for tuning in. Really appreciate your time. The $27 offer will not be around for very long. I'll most likely take that down as soon as we get to the 15 people, sooner those spots are filled up. So once again, it's really great to have you here. We'd love to know your feedback, and we will catch you on the next webinar. Take care. Bye-bye.